Very good Wednesday evening, folks. I'm NTV Chief Meteorologist Eddie Shear, and this is a quick, maybe not so quick, forecast update. A little bit of a complex setup underway this evening across the province as a cold front is moving through. That front, area of low pressure, is going to try and develop along it tomorrow east of the Avalon Peninsula. If that happens, parts of the Avalon, Bonavista Peninsulas will see some snow accumulation tomorrow morning. If it doesn't, we won't. And we're not going to know basically how that shakes loose until tomorrow morning when we're watching it all transpire. Either way, some very interesting weather between now and then to talk about, and we'll kind of hop right to it. Here's Futurecast. We'll start us off this evening. Cold front pushing across the west coast. That's where the wind arrows are coming in from different directions. You can kind of pick it out there, and where winds are from the west, and there where winds are from the south. So temperatures for many areas of the island are actually going to rise overnight, especially central and east. On the west coast, front blows by this evening. Behind it, temperatures really cool down by tomorrow morning, back to near freezing, I should say, by midnight, with the onshore flurry machine kicking on. By midnight, maybe some snow on the backside of this cold front. So areas of central will see some rain this evening, ending as a period of snow overnight, or a mixture of rain and snow. By tomorrow morning, that cold front approaching the Avalon, we can see it there with the wind direction and the big difference in temperature between St. John's 9 and Clarenville at 1. And by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, cold front offshore of the Avalon, and there's that area of snow. Now the big question is, where does this area of snow actually end up orienting itself? Is it offshore, or is it kind of back in this area here? Well, not sure yet. We're going to have to watch, but if that happens, some areas will see some accumulating snow tomorrow morning on eastern parts of the island. By noon, though, most of it is going to be done with regardless. Temperatures are drastically cooler, well below freezing. Notice -4 by 7 o'clock out into central St. John's -2, Corner Brook west coast close to -4, Labrador. Some flurries overnight in the southeast, some flurries later in the west tomorrow, but between the two times it's pretty quiet. So here's another computer model showing by midnight we see rain across the Avalon, heavy at times. That's where the dark greens and yellows are. Some places on the Avalon, eastern areas of the island could pick up 15 mils of rain overnight. But by 3 o'clock, there's the cool air out towards Gander, out towards Terra Nova, out toward Terranceville. Still warm though on the Avalon, 6 to 10 degrees. By tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, cooler air beginning to move in. There's the snow line just west of the Avalon out towards Goobies. And by 8, 9 o'clock, temperatures quickly falling, rain mixing with, possibly changing to a heavy wet snow. And if this computer model is right, it snows till 11 o'clock noon, then it all moves offshore, and temperatures drastically cool down on westerly winds. So, in the optimal solution, if we see the snow sticking around like this model suggests through noon or so, amounts on the northeast Avalon, back towards just west of Cape Royal and north of St. Mary's Bay, that's not St. Mary's Bay, excuse me, down towards Trepassey and St. Shots, we're talking 2 to 5, that's Trepassey Bay. This is Trepassey Bay. 2 to 5 centimeters of snow in the higher terrain, down low closer to 2. Areas south of that blue band, down towards Trepassey Bay, St. Mary's Bay, Placentia Bay, around most of Conception Bay, Trinity Bay, talking trace to 2 centimeters or so. But if that snow moves offshore quicker, well, this forecast is pretty much nullified, and we will hardly see any snow at all. So just the possibility is there. So it could be a slick at times tomorrow. And because of that possibility, Environment Canada has a special weather statement in place for St. John's and vicinity, which includes St. John's, basically from Cape St. Francis to CBS all the way down through a good chunk of the southern shore, and the Avalon North, which is basically from Holyrood, Bay Roberts up towards Old Perlican, Bay de Verde, and then the Isthmus as well. So that's what that special weather statement is for, just a heads up of some snow in the higher terrain around St. John's. It's areas like Paradise, Mount Pearl, down towards Southlands, for instance, and then like the Heart's Content Barrens. Basically, as we kind of cross the Avalon, may see a bit of snow tomorrow as well. Basically, highly elevation dependent areas above 100 meters would pick up the most tomorrow, which would be about 5 centimeters. So that's kind of how it looks. I know nothing concrete, and that stinks. So we'll keep an eye on it. Also, the downtown St. John's Christmas Parade. Forecast for that not looking good as well right now. Looks like rain, 2-3 degrees. If that happens, it'll be postponed one more week, which would be the third time that's happened in the 29-year history of the parade. So it's not a thing that happens very frequently, but it may. So forecast for that, we'll keep an eye on it too. All right, folks, have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 on NTV, and before then on social. Have a great evening.